Alright, so in today's video I'll be teaching y'all how to assemble your Simple Sexy, and then there will be a part 2 follow-up which will do the coding aspect to get the Arduino running correctly. So first you will need a Simple Sexy board, an Ethernet cable, a PN532 in my case, a 12 volt to 5 volt step down, an Arduino Pro Micro. It must be the 3.3 volt. If it is the 5 volt, this won't work and you will break your board, so it has to be the 3.3 volt. And some pins if your board does not come with it. All of what I will be using will be linked below, as well as the later part of this video. And it will not come with the Ethernet cable soldered on and your 12 volt step down already soldered on. This is a board I was sent for testing, so I'm making the video after the fact, which I shouldn't have done, but I will walk you through everything regardless. Alright, so the first step I would start with would be the pinning of this board. So I take the pins and I line them all up correctly. This pin is longer, so it's easier to line them up correctly, and then just break it off like so. And then repeat the same for the other side. All right, and now just to hold the pins in the correct orientation, I like to get the corners done with the Simple Sexy. I don't do the whole board because I don't want to transfer a bunch of heat in. All right, so now my soldering iron's heated up. Just touch the soldering iron between the pad and the pin, and then run some solder on it. And then I'm going to do this for all 4 corners. And the last one. All right. And from there, I'll pull the board off. And you can see all the 4 corners are soldered on. And from here, I'm going to solder all of the pins. And I will come back to y'all in a second. So now we are done with the Arduino. And then the next step is easy. You just solder in your ground and your positive for your 5 volt step down. In this case, I'm using a BEC made for RC cars, but any 12 volt to 5 volt step down will do the trick. And then the next is you have to solder up your connections between the PN532 and the Simple Sexy. I used a Ethernet cable because it has 8 little wires, and I just cut one off and didn't use it. And I will put the list of which pinout goes to what. And this particular board is actually capable of running 3.3 or 5 volts, which is why I have the 5 volt instead of the 3.3 volt over here. But simple, just solder up the correct wires between the two, and I will post that as a screenshot in 1 second. All right, and for the final part of this build video, all you have to do is make sure that your USB port is lined up over the LED, and just drop the board in. It should just be an easy slide in if you press it in all at once. Make sure it's fully seated, which this one is. And then, if all goes well, plug in with USB, board lights up, computer recognizes the board, and your reader should have a light on it. And then click the link in the description for part 2. Thank you.